What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol PHUN for Phunware Inc. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. Let's first address the elephant in the room. Huge range, huge big gap up on Friday's session, largely due to their part in developing and designing the app for DWAC. That's, of course, Donald Trump's social media app. That being said, I'm not here to play political sides. If you do leave a comment down below, you're basically just going to get, hey, thanks for the comment, and that's about it. We're here to talk charts and not necessarily, again, political affiliations. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and address what's going on here. So massive gap up leaves behind in its wake a gap underneath us now. So if we do start taking out the low of day from Friday at 550, I would expect the gap to start to fill all the way down towards, let's just call it $1.90 for round numbers sake. And again, that's a very substantial move in terms of percentage points here. So please be careful underneath the low. I would not want to be involved long with this stock if it does start to break down under 550. Now, am I saying it has to fill the gap tomorrow or the next day even? Absolutely not. The gap could never fill, essentially. I'm just saying if 550 breaks down, I would not want to be a long player here inside of Phunware. In terms of levels that I'm seeing here on the 30-minute chart, I would obviously note that we have this. I would also venture to point out that in the post market, we are below that, right? We're trading 662 by 663, so somewhere just around in here, we'll call it. So that's going to act as resistance from the bottom up, of course. The next place, an obvious breakout point, would be here. And that's where things get interesting. Kind of just like DWAC, if you watched our video there. Step number one would be, okay, can we open here and then recapture into this range? And then if it wants to break 1090, that's where, again, you look left and there's not a whole lot of candle structure in this area of the chart. That's where the gates kind of open up for another squeeze higher if the move wants to be supported by good volume. As you know, if you've watched the channel for any period of time, volume is always going to be the driver of any momentum style trade. So to me, again, granted that Friday was a special circumstance, I'm not going to say that it has to be on par with like 50 million or greater per 30-minute bar. But if it wants to be, here, 20 million or so per 30-minute bar, I could easily see this moving to the upside at a quite rapid pace based on supply and demand issues, right? That is pretty much what drives momentum style trades. So these are the numbers I would be watching out for. That's the volume I would be watching out for. And again, underneath 550, do not want to have anything to do with this stock at all. One thing I do want to point out from the daily perspective is if we go back in time to before the time that bar printed, something like this, we'll get a little bit more data. There we go. What you'll notice is that this actually was in a fairly aggressive downtrend coming from about a high, let's just call it 250 benefit of the doubt there, down to about $1, right? So that's cut in half at minimum, right? So not the best stock in terms of fundamentals. Again, this is all about a supply and demand issue, big volatility event here. We'll see if it can take out any of those levels which we have mapped out. That's going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.